Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and we are continuing on with my mother-in-law's garden. In the first video, we spent all the time cleaning out, just kind of discovering what all was going on after I made over this space last summer. And now I'm doing a refresh with some new plants. We're doing a combination of perennials and annuals in this space. I am starting out by laying out all the plants. This is the big thing that I like to do before I begin planting. Lay everything out, stand back, look at it, make any adjustments that I see as needed, and I really feel like this helps give me more consistent designs within the garden. I think that slow gardening is something that we're missing on YouTube and on social media. All of the videos are massive projects and lots of plants, and everything's done in 20 minutes. And so sometimes I look at my videos and I'm trying to convey how I am actually going about gardening. And you can see me just taking my time to place everything, every little thing here, and it feels good. And I just wanted to point out to everybody that slow gardening is real gardening. Most of us are not gardening in fast forward mode, and most of us are not gardening and getting everything done in 12 to 20 minutes like videos. So I just wanted to remind you all, gardening takes time and it takes patience. Now this pot right here is a feature space within her garden. So I am putting a nice, beautiful, giant hardy hibiscus in this space. I think it's going to be gorgeous. It's also a perennial, which is lovely. So we will not have to replant this every season. And I think it's going to look really great in the space. I think that this color is going to tie in really well with the wild berry powwow coneflower that you can see off to the left side. And I think it's going to give a really beautiful tropical look for the summer. Now, I am someone who likes to reutilize their potting soil. I do not throw it out each season. Basically, I go in and I amend it. And this potting soil was brand new last summer, so I am just adding some plant tone to it, a slow release fertilizer, which I think will be great for this hibiscus throughout the season. Now, this pot is also hooked up to drip irrigation, and you'll see me add that back in later at the very end. Luna hardy hibiscus produces huge tropical blooms up to 8 inches across in shades of red, pink, or white. Plants grow 2 to 3 feet tall and wide and thrive in full sun with consistently moist soil. Hardy in zones 5 through 9, they bring bold summer color to the garden. Okay, now we are moving on to some summer annuals, and I have a mix of vinca. Now, I don't typically like to do a mix of any kind of like annual where it's a bunch of mixed colors, but for some reason today I was really inspired by these colors. All of these colors are within her garden already, these pinks and whites and lavenders and bright magentas, and so it just felt natural to go with this. And these guys will do beautifully all the way through the hottest parts of the years of the summer, and they will be prolific bloomish throughout the entire time. Vinca produces bright blooms in shades of pink, red, white, lavender, and rose above glossy green foliage. Plants grow 10 to 16 inches tall and thrive in full sun and hot, dry conditions. A low maintenance annual, it blooms continuously throughout the summer. Now, repeating elements within the garden is super important, so I am adding another matching hibiscus, not tropical, hardy hibiscus to this container back here, just to add a pop of color to this space, but also to tie back in to the front area that we already completed. Okay, so next I'm adding in this salvia. That's a really deep purple. My mother-in-law likes pinks and purples and blues, lots of cool tones. And so I thought this would be nice. I had also thought it would be a good contrasting texture compared to the hibiscus beside it. And this is also a perennial as well. And once again, I'm just amending the soil with a little bit of plant tone slow release fertilizer. So one of the things I've changed this year for gardening is taking the time to stop during the project and just sit and take a few minutes and rest and look and evaluate, and instead of just bulldozing through a project, just taking more time to enjoy. Black and Bloom salvia features deep cobalt blue flowers held above dark black stems and calyxes. It grows 3 to 5 feet tall and wide and thrives in full sun to part shade. Hardy in zones 8 through 10, it attracts hummingbirds, bees, and butterflies from spring through frost. Okay, and I'm also repeating the vinca element again, and you can see I'm repeating multiple times throughout the garden. I repeated that hibiscus, I'm going to be repeating the salvia, I'm repeating the vinca, and this is a way to add more consistency to your garden. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all popped in here. I am having to be very careful because there are a lot of existing daffodil and Dutch iris bulbs, so I'm making sure that I'm going in between them instead of digging them up. As we begin working around the Ruby Falls Weeping Redbud tree, I'm going to do a mix of summer annuals that include Mexican heather and pink truffula gomphrena. I thought both of these were kind of had a lightness and smaller bloom that I thought would be a beautiful texture. There are also two existing American Dreams coreopsis at the base of this as well, and I think working around all of this will add a soft kind of wildflower effect beneath the Ruby Falls Weeping Redbud. Mexican heather forms a neat mound of fine textured foliage covered with tiny lavender purple flowers. It grows 12 to 24 inches tall and wide and performs best in full sun to part shade. Hardy in zones 9 through 11, it blooms for months and is a favorite for pollinators. Truffula pink gomphrena produces bright pink, globe-shaped flowers on tall, branching stems. It grows 24 to 36 inches tall and thrives in full sun with well-draining soil. Heat and drought tolerant, it attracts pollinators and makes an excellent cut or dried flower. Now, I am in a space that will eventually have some shrubs, and I don't think I'm going to do that at this moment in time, but maybe this fall. For the meantime, I am tucking a couple of the pink truffula gomphrena back behind this container, and in that way I can add a little bit more depth to the garden until I decide what shrubs are going to go where I'm currently sitting. And then I am tying in another salvia in that pot. There are a few existing vinca seedlings that reseeded themselves from last year, so I am leaving those in place because if I'm correct, I believe they're the cascading variety, which would be lovely cascading over the edge of this pot. And I did have one pink truffula gomphrena left, so I am going to tuck it in right here in this pot just to kind of carry that color from one side of the garden to the other. Okay, I'm getting everything watered in. I'm struggling with my mother-in-law's hose, so I probably need to bring her some kind of nozzle for the hose that'll work better in the future. But I'm really happy with the progress that I made today. I did not fill every space in every container. There's a few more particular varieties of plants I'm going to keep my eye out for, and then I will add those in to the few containers that are left in some of the spaces. But a garden is built over time. I was not trying to finish everything today, but I'm very pleased with how everything turned out. All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.